This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Pretty good deal.
I don't have a Shelby GT yet.
But when you get one, I'm going to have to maybe owe you a lot of payments.
Okay. So, look at this, man. How much would payments be on a Shelby GT? $72,000 car.
How much you putting down?
$5,000.
Well, that's basically nothing. All right. 67,000. You going to finance it for 5 years?
Yeah. We're talking about $1,000 there.
I'm going to guess you probably get an interest rate of like 4. You got the good scores. 1233 a month.
Eesh, that's a lot for a car, man.
You trying to get to 1,000?
You sound like the guy that sells me my cars.
No, I'm just saying, if you're trying to get to 1,000, if you could get a 4% rate for 6 years, and you could finance 64 grand, you could make it work.
Okay.
64 grand at 4% would get you right at $1,000.
Not only that, but here's the kicker, man, to fucking be able to, how much you think insurance on that thing would be? Fuck.
No, it'll be good because you've got a sterling record and you're real old.
Okay.
No, seriously, your insurance takes a big, like dip when you turn 25. And when you hit 40, it gets cheaper again. So at your advanced age, it's probably very, very affordable for you.
Yeah. Well, I want one. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I want one.
First of all, I don't think you need to be buying a $72,000 one.
Well, you can get them cheaper.
Of course you should. You should get one that's depreciated a little bit. Cause here's the thing. If the world keeps coming to an end like it is right now, some of those luxury items are going to become much more affordable. And there's certain models. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's certain models you can get 0% for 6 years right now.
Really?
Yeah. So your money's free then. You're still going to take a bath on depreciation, which is why I would still try to find a used one.
But when I buy a car, I don't worry about, I don't worry about what it's going to be worth when I sell it. I'm buying a car just because I want to drive it.
Well, yeah. And you run them till the wheels fall off.
I do.
Yeah.
I've got a BMW Z3.
Yeah. And you've had it forever.
Yeah. It's got 300,000 miles on it and I don't run it anymore. And it's sitting here in the driveway with a cover on it. It's been here for over a year with a cover on it. So this is the Mike Tyson video. Tyson is what? He's a member of the Generation X.
It's been revealed. He's the special guest ringside enforcer, but now it's been revealed that he's with DX because they had a pull apart brawl the night after WrestleMania, him and Steve Austin. And no matter what they tried to get Mike to say, he would always call him Cold Stone.
Really?
Like the fucking ice cream place.
Cold Stone Creamery Austin.
I hate you, Cold Stone. I'm more of a Baskin Robbins man.
And you are ludicrous.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what. The attitude and swagger that Shawn Michaels is about to put on this screen jumps off the page. I think you could take a look and say from maybe September, October of 97, maybe back it up a little bit. We'll go, September 97 through now. I think you could put his performances up against anybody. I'm not just saying in ring, but he did have potentially one of the matches of the year in October at the first Hell in a Cell. Nobody knew what to expect from that. And him and Undertaker just fucking ripped it up. But then he's going to get hurt in a casket match in January. He hurts his back and he's going to work hurt to the point that he misses the February pay-per-view and he's replaced by Savio Vega. Yeah. Not a suitable replacement, no. But here he is. But I'm saying the attitude and swagger and demeanor and presence he was on TV, not just matches. We know that Shawn can go, but he's got this defiant, almost rage against the machine. Fuck you. I won't do what you tell me attitude. And man, it's just written all over him. When he comes out, it's so intense. You think, man, this is going to be a hell of a match. And it winds up not being the greatest match, but you can see Shawn really wincing and struggling the whole time. But when even the backstage, him and Hunter and China are walking to the ring, and you see them in the backstage area before they make the corner, to go, into the gorilla position. What a great shot this is. We'll play a little audio here. Steve Austin making his way out backstage. Dude, what a great fucking entrance. Huge pop.
Wow.
Crowd going bananas. Man, what a big night this is going to be. And little did we know. I mean, we knew he was going to be a big star. We knew he was about to be the top guy. We knew he was entertaining and charismatic, but as awesome as he was not enough yet to take over the lead from WCW. The NWO was just too hot. But on the other channels, man, you know, Goldberg is coming around and starting to warm up, and Sting is still doing the Crow thing, and Hulk Hogan's still with the black and white, the NWO. And oh man, what a big time in wrestling. And it looks like, well, I mean, yeah, he's a big star and he's working with Austin. I mean, he's working with Tyson, but he ain't the biggest star in the business. And he's going to go on to not only be the biggest star in the business right then, but arguably ever. I mean, based on the financials, it certainly looks like when he was hot, nobody was hotter. It's crazy to think about too, with Hulk Hogan having, you know, such a long and storied career, both as a babyface and a heel. All right, I'm going to play the audio here. Look at the swagger, dude.
Wow.
Bruce Pritchard's on the left.
So, Jack Lanza too.
First time, let my good luck charm.
So this is the DX band, or the band that does the DX theme song. They're going to do it live for Shawn, just like they did for Hunter. And man, Shawn flips the switch, and when he comes through that curtain, dude, he is adamant to stick it up everybody's ass, because he obviously feels like, man, the company's moving on without me. I just screwed Bret Hart. My back's giving out on me. My body's betraying me. But he comes out looking like $1 million and intense, dude. What a fucking performer he was. And this is going to be the last time we see him till the summer of 2002. I'm going to play some audio here. Man, what a cool entrance. What a big moment.
Tremendous entrance, man.
It feels like a big fight. It has a big fight feel. You know, you're watching something special. Such a cool moment. And I don't think Shawn gets enough credit. I mean, people often talk about, oh, he's the greatest in-ring performer and one of the all-time greats. And I think a lot of times people look over or gloss over his heel work here. Obviously, he had a great run as a tag guy, tremendous run as an Intercontinental champion, and he was a heel there too. But this sort of edgy adult attitude era heel version of him in those like 6 months, I think is about as good as we've ever seen in wrestling. Not just, in ring, bell to bell, because obviously we've seen great matches before and after that from him. But I'm saying just the look, the swagger, the demeanor, the presentation, the attitude. He really is. And I don't know that me and you've ever talked about this, but, the famous interview where it was a taped show and he stuffed a banana down his bicycle shorts and was crotch chopping JR in the face with it, and just being an absolute asshole and not cooperative and not a team player. Vince McMahon would describe it. First of all, he's pissed about it and mad about it because he wasn't at that taping. And then secondly, he would say, God damn, he's showing attitude. That's what we need, is attitude. And the Attitude Era was born because of Shawn Michaels' defiant promo. And that's one of the things that's always been so fascinating about wrestling is, you've sort of talked about this a little bit because we know some of these guys in real life, and we've sort of joked that sometimes, the good guys on TV are not good guys in real life, and the bad guys on TV are the sweetest, gentlest guys, most polite humans ever in real life. But that's what's interesting about Shawn is there's sort of multiple sides of Shawn, where there's the guy who his peers respect as an in-ring performer, but they also think he's a douche because he doesn't want to do jobs, or he's rude or disrespectful to them. Or, just look at the way he handled the whole Vader thing in 96. But then at the same time, he's now, a fully, woke person. That's probably the wrong phrase, but he's just a more well-rounded, self-aware person. And now he's
more mature.
Absolutely. And it's just, it's cool that you get to see sort of the good, the bad, and the ugly with some of these guys. And all of that comes from wrestling, because we've heard, how many guys say, oh, the Clique fucked me on this, and oh, he was a piece of shit there and here, or whatever, or he was difficult to work with. Even after this, he's going to charge into the press conference, kick the door open while he's in his gear, just cussing and loud and being real loud. And Shane has to come talk to him because he realizes, hey, we've squeezed all we can out of you. We're done. We're on to Steve Austin now. And he feels, like this is not fair. This isn't right. And fuck you guys for doing this, but it's not their idea that his back's out. And
right.
It's a complicated situation, and he's a complicated person. And right here, he's over medicated. He's drinking too much. He's taking too many, pills to get through the match, and they're still getting the match in the ring. And that's what they were focused on that weekend, is let's just get the match in the ring, to the point that that legend grew so big that there's been a rumor and innuendo that Shawn Michaels, had pissed off the Undertaker, to the point that the Undertaker was in the back wrapping up his fists with tape. Like, hey, if you don't go do what you're supposed to do, I'm going to fuck you up. And here he is putting on a performance, gutting it out. Mm-hmm. Even when he couldn't walk a few days prior. A few days prior to this, he's like immobile. They're not sure this is going to happen, but he guzzles some stuff, and here we go. But you could just see it all over his face when he came to the ring. Could you not?
Yeah. No, you're right. Fuck. Man, something like that has so many edges on it.
Look at the way he's even walking.
Yeah.
The way he's getting on the stage, the way he's bending over, the way he's walking, you can tell he's hurting. And there's a couple of times where he's like leaned over the ropes, and there's a camera nearby, and you can see he's just cussing to himself. Like, I just got to get through this.
Yeah. Walking slowly, legs far apart, gave himself a wide base.
You can tell he's hurting.
Yeah, you sure can.
But he still does it and goes out and does it. And he's said years later that, he apologized to Steve and wishes he could have given him the match that he really deserved that night, because this is supposed to be a big, proud moment for Steve. And instead of this being, the greatest night in the history of his career, everybody's worried about, is the other guy going to do business? It's not near maybe what it could have been, but it's not like Shawn wanted to be hurt either.
Fuck. Coming off the top, you got a bad back. It's not good, man. You land on your feet.
But dude, look, bump and feed over and over. Didn't
Yeah.
slow him down one bit and look, upside down spot on the hurt back. He's giving you everything he's got.
Exactly.
And of course, he's in a bad way after this. He doesn't go home and get right, clean and sober right away. He struggles for a long time, has a few run-ins with WWE that aren't always pleasant. Decides to start a little wrestling school with Rudy Gonzalez, and they find a guy named, several very talented performers, but one of which would go on to be Daniel Bryan. And of course, Daniel Bryan, we know now, is one of the biggest stars in the history of wrestling. And Daniel Bryan, like a lot of guys, thought, well, shit, if I want to learn to be a wrestler, let's learn from the best who ever did it. And it's a short list, but Shawn's on it somewhere.
He sure is, man.
It's unbelievable, the sort of backstory of Shawn's career and Steve's career and how different they really were, because, just 5 years after this, and Austin is done, like, for good, forever. And that includes a year layoff with the whole neck thing. But I mean, he finished up in 2003 at WrestleMania. So 5 years after this, he's gone, including a whole 1 year off. So really, there's just 4 good wrestling years left in him. Meanwhile, Shawn takes those 4 years off, comes back in 2002, and he just worked last year in Saudi Arabia.
Look at that bump again. Fuck, man.
Ping pong ball, man, all over the place for you. Meltzer would say this is basically the match. I don't know if this was in the Observer. I just remember this was basically the match that he had been working with Hunter on the house shows. All right, here's the write-up. Michaels had a ring on a chain around his neck. Apparently he just got engaged to a former WWF seamstress who played the role as the shorter of the 2 women that were chasing Dude Love over the summer, and dedicated the match to Earl Hebner, because of course Earl is the guy who quote unquote helped him screw Brett. But Earl is in a bad way. He's had a medical scare. So good on him to do that.
That's the write-up?
No, I mean, it continued with a breakdown of the match.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So in the course of the storyline here, and I'm not reading, I've got the closed captioning on. I'm not reading everything the announcers are saying. Are they selling the fact that he's got a bad back?
Oh, of course. Everybody knows about it. They've highlighted it. It's been well explained and well documented. Meltzer would say they worked a pretty good pace as the match went on, but Michaels really looked bad, holding his back, swearing, and his face looking as if he was about to pass out.
Yeah, like right now.
Bad deal, but they got it in the ring, made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that that's always been sort of the mantra, of wrestlers is, well, no, you got to make the match happen.
Well, you know what? You know what's a surprising deal when you're telling me all this and we're talking about this, and the fact is that Austin was such a big, big star in a very, very short window.
Yeah.
I mean, take a look at how many years Ric Flair was a big star and Hulk Hogan was. Austin was obviously a big time wrestler and a big star, but his years of being Stone Cold Steve Austin, you think without knowing it lasted a long, long time, but it really didn't.
No.
5 years, right?
Yeah.
So his impact was profound in a short period of time. And you go back and there's a lot of people that say, and I'm one of them, that he's the greatest performer ever, the biggest star ever. He and The Rock. But Jesus, it didn't last long. I think he's opened himself up. Yeah, grabbing the back as he comes in. It's a hell of a WrestleMania, man. It's a good one to watch. I'm glad you came up with WrestleMania 14.
It is a good one to watch.
Yeah.
See Shawn really hurting here. I'm going to play the audio here.
I was hearing that correctly. Michael's holding it.
You saw Michael's mouth, and maybe you heard the whisper when he said, fuck, holding his back. He's in a bad way. Camera picked it up though. And what's funny is, you know, he did have a reputation for being a guy who didn't want to do jobs, and he would rather drop the belt or forfeit the belt than lose it. So he would lose his smile or have a knee injury or whatever. And people were always critical of that, but I don't think there's any disputing that his back is legitimately hurt here.
Hell, that's the fucking story of this match. But now think of it this way.
Look at the squatting down, dude.
Yeah. Think of it this way. Does the fact that we may have talked about it, the fact that his back is so in such bad shape, does that taint the victory by Austin?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You think it does?
I don't know. I mean, it gives him an out. Well, he had a bad back. Maybe, well, as a heel, you always want an out, right? And shouldn't that have been a disqualification? Did you read recently where Vince McMahon told the referees that if they're counted out, count them out?
Yep.
Wow. Wonder what was behind that.
Well, it's sort of like medical facility.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm not.
Vince won't let you say hospital.
Okay.
You're not allowed to say the word hospital.
Didn't know that.
You have to say medical facility. You can't say, belt. You have to say championship title.
Okay. All right.
You can't say, AEW.
Oh, well, I guess not.
You can't say Conrad. You can't say Tony.
Yeah. You can't say,
They're not saying coronavirus.
yeah, you can't say COVID-19, right?
No. Sort of like there's certain things you can't say on Dynamite, but I won't talk about that either.
Conrad.
Y'all mention me every week.
Gosh,
I'm not
slid in that one night, didn't I?
I'm not banned yet. The day is coming though.
Yeah.
What do you think is,
Hey, keep your hand off of him, Tyson. What the fuck? Not having too much, Tyson's not really, having too much impact on this match, is he?
well, he will at the end.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, speaking of the end, have you seen, Vice and their new Dark Side of the Ring season 2?
I have not.
The very first episode have aired on the 24th. So if you're listening on Patreon, it's tomorrow night on Vice. If you're listening on the regular release, it happened last night on Vice. It was a 2-hour special, phenomenal work. They released hour 1 on YouTube. So if you don't have Vice where you are, go check out hour 1 on YouTube, but go out of your way to find it, man. Really remarkable stuff. I've had the pleasure of seeing the Brawl for All one and the New Jack one. Just outstanding stuff. These guys have hit a home run. Season 1 was good. Season 2 is better. Big fan. And, I think you would really enjoy this one. I mean, it's hard to say enjoy when you're talking about negative stuff, but it's fascinating stuff, man.
Much like this match is. Come on, punch him, man. I thought for sure Tyson would try to punch him. 2 words. Suck it. Love that.
You need a DX shirt, don't you?
No, I don't.
Wow. Billy Gunn would love it if you wore that.
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
What's that shirt you wear? A large?
XL.
Not for much longer. Thanks to DDPY. All right. I'm finding you a DX shirt.
No, I won't wear it.
I already got it. It's in my buggy. It's in my cart.
Ugh.
Why are you being negative?
I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic.
Why won't you wear it again?
I don't know. You think, do you think that Michael Cole's wearing an I Heart AEW shirt around?
That's different. You don't think Tony Khan used to watch AEW? I mean, what show are we talking about? You don't think Tony Khan used to watch WWF? He did.
He still does, I'm sure. Or WWE now.
They used to have a shirt from DX that says Vince likes cock. That was a picture of a big chicken.
That's good. What else is good? This match. Not only because we all know how badly Shawn is hurting, but they're both just kind of working fucking hard.
Your suck it shirt will be here.
Now stop it.
What? It's coming from Taiwan. Oh, I don't know. We need to import that one right now.
Yeah, we can't.
Might be illegal, huh?
I want a shirt made in the USA.
Ryan Barkin's closed right now.
Is he?
Well, yeah.
Well, I know his shop is closed. Is his online service closed?
Well, you can still order stuff, but stuff can't come in.
Okay.
I mean, he can't manufacture. His business, he's in Illinois.
Oh, got it. That's right. That's right. Forced socialism in Illinois.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. What's wrong with this world? Wow, hell of a bump up and back.
Oh, he's putting him out with a sleeper hold.
JR has always been obviously an Austin guy. Was he kind of on Austin's side here?
Well, he's cheering for the babyface.
As you should. Oh, no, not a referee bump. No, not an all. Oh, no, not again. Oh, 3. Yeah. One more time. Come on, to get a running start and crack the referee's head. Now he's down. I thought Shawn was going to go face first there for a minute. God, he could still take bumps, couldn't he, with a bad back?
Man, he's doing all he can here for him. You know it?
Man, we're talking about, he's got to be thinking, my back is so bad, I'm taking these bumps, I'm being professional. But he's got to be thinking, man, could I get some ear injuries that would prevent me from walking the rest of my life here? He's got to be thinking about that. That has to be in his mind. That has to be a concern. Fuck, he just... Of course, as I've said, you and I have watched Shawn Michaels against The Undertaker. Where was that from?
Hell in a Cell, October 1997.
Best match I've ever seen.
St. Louis Arena.
Yep, best match I've ever seen. Well, second best match now.
Best singles match.
Best singles match, yep.
By the way, Shawn's going to the top here. Gonna hit the elbow.
Unbelievable.
Imagine how good that feels.
Taking a deep breath, shutting out the pain. Boom. It's got to hurt because he's landed on his side first.
We should mention, as you're quarantined and you're stuck at home and you're looking for some stuff to eat, maybe your grocery store is looking a little sparse. Jimmy's Famous Seafood can hook you up. They're actually delivering and they've got some free shipping deals, but You get some of the best crab cakes you've ever had. You can even do some meal prepping. I can't recommend it enough. I know you had a great time there as well. We should mention that they are open and available for business right now.
That is tremendous.
Teasing the stunner, goes for the super kick, catches it, spins it around.
Oh,
wham, there it is. Here we go.
fucking Tyson turned his fucking back on DX. Is that going to count?
Yeah, that's the finish. That's it.
Was
Stone Cold Steve Austin is your new world champion. Mike Tyson's a referee, buddy. I've said it 3 or 4 times now. Pay attention when you can.
Okay.
So he's going to celebrate his big win. And there you go. That's the last night we would see the Winged Eagle. Well, it would make one more appearance, but the next night, Vince McMahon would introduce the new Big Eagle, blue leather block logo championship designed by Joe Marshall. And that would become the new world title. And this belt would only appear one more time. And it would be later this year after King of the Ring, after Foley got thrown off the cage. The next day, they're going to do a title presentation to Kane. And they have this belt in a glass case. And that would be the last time we would see it. So this is the next to last appearance of maybe the most iconic world title that WWF ever had. And here you see Stone Cold throwing Mike Tyson an Austin 316 t-shirt. I'm going to play the audio here.
Mike Tyson holding up the 316. We've got a new champion. And he is a rattlesnake. And I don't think Shawn Michaels can believe what he's seeing. Mike Tyson waving the 316 in front of Michaels' face. Maybe this has been a setup all along. Michael said, no, Mike, you're supposed to be with me. Oh, Michaels insulting Tyson. Michaels standing up for the baddest man on the planet.
What a fucking moment, man.
Great moment. And the odds are that was not a working punch by Tyson, because he probably didn't know how to throw one.
Well, it's kind of up to Shawn. When he moves his shoulder, just kick your feet in the air. You know?
Yeah, right.
Like, you got to think, if you're Shawn, like, let's be smart here. By the way, Shawn was not happy with that, I believe. I think that I might be wrong. I think I read in a book somewhere that was not part of the plan, but they wanted to drape the shirt over him. I think they pitched that and he said no. He didn't want to do that. And fuck no, you can't do that. They did it anyway. So I think he went with it. And then afterwards, that's the reason maybe he showed his ass at the press conference. Maybe I'm making that all up. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I seem to remember him not liking the idea of having the Austin flag draped over his limp body. Like, come on, I'll put him over, but Jesus Christ, you have to fucking kill me on the way out. And that's it. The Austin era has begun. That's going to wind down WrestleMania 14. And, here's your finish again. Had that well scouted, stunner, bam. And your special guest enforcer at ringside, 1, 2, 3. There it is. Mike Tyson. And then the big right hand. It's funny because they planned to do this 8 years prior to this with Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. It's supposed to be Macho Man taking the bump and Mike Tyson raising the hand of Steve Austin on Saturday night's main event. Instead, it happened on pay-per-view 8 years later. And, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage are on WCW's side. Now it's the new biggest attraction in wrestling, Steve Austin. And look, the fans don't want to leave. Everybody's soaking it in. Here's our recap package of the day. What a pay-per-view, man. Pretty good show, huh?
Yeah. It's one of these shows that kind of made WrestleMania what it was. Now I know WrestleMania has transcended wrestling now. It's a big event in itself, but you would have to have iconic matches and great matches for it to become that.
2 weeks prior to this, WCW held their March 98 pay-per-view. The main event was Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage in a steel cage. You had Scott Hall working with Sting for the world title, Bret Hart working with Mr. Perfect, The Giant working with Kevin Nash, DDP with Raven and Chris Benoit, Lex Luger working with Scott Steiner, Chris Jericho working with Dean Malenko, Juventud Guerrera and Conan in singles action, and of course Booker T defending his world television title against Eddie Guerrero. When you hear that lineup, you think, God damn, what an undercard. Sort of like what we talked about at the top of the show. The undercard was all about WCW, but the main event, you got to give the nod to a hobbled Steve Austin or a hobbled Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin here.
Yep, you do. You have to. And I like to see the big men slug it out as well. 17 minutes, way too long, but they did a great job.
What do you think? Give us a rating here. Scale of 1 to 10.
I would give this an 8.
Well, I look forward to watching WrestleMania 6 with you next week. Of course, you mentioned you were at WrestleMania 5 and WrestleMania 6. Those are my two favorites as a kid, WrestleMania 6 being my absolute favorite. Not going to be a chore to get through that one next week as we see Steve Austin make his way to the ring here at the end of the video recap. It feels like it's about that time.
Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. Added attraction here to WrestleMania 14 is another dumpster match, one-on-one. Conrad Thompson is going to take on Dave Silva, and got Conrad Thompson up on top, Silva up on top. They're up on top of the turnbuckle. They walk the ropes right above this big dumpster, and Silva's in the dumpster. Silva's in the dumpster, and now we got to try to get him out. How's that going to happen? Does someone have a crane? We'll see you next week on What Happened When. We are on Westwood One, but on Monday.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.